This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor. Always do your own research and consult a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Here's a statistic that should bother you. 70% of lottery winners go broke within 5 years. People who receive millions of dollars for free and end up worse off than before. Meanwhile, there are people who started with nothing and built generational wealth on an average salary. So if wealth isn't about how much money comes in, what is it actually about? Today, we answer that question. For decades, the conversation about wealth has been obsessed with income. Get a better job, get a raise, start a side hustle, earn more. And yes, income matters. We're not going to pretend it doesn't. But income is not wealth. Income is a flow. Wealth is a stock. You can have a massive flow that fills a bathtub with the drain open, or a modest flow with the drain closed. Only one of those builds wealth. The research is clear. The gap between high earners who build wealth and high earners who don't comes down to 3 behavioral patterns. Let's go through each one. When income goes up, spending tends to follow. New income level, new normal, bigger apartment, better car, nicer restaurants. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the #1 wealth killer among high earners. Thomas Stanley, who spent decades studying American millionaires for the book The Millionaire Next Door, found something remarkable. The wealthiest people in America were not the ones earning the most. They were the ones with the biggest gap between income and spending. The stereotype of the millionaire, flashy car, expensive house, was almost entirely wrong. Most millionaires drove used cars, lived in modest houses, in neighborhoods where they were the wealthiest person on the block. They didn't look rich. They were rich. The people who looked rich were almost always deeply in debt. When you get a raise, the wealth-building move is to keep your lifestyle exactly the same and route the entire difference to investments. It's boring. It works. Albert Einstein may or may not have called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world. The quote is disputed. But the math isn't. Person A invests $500 per month starting at age 22. They stop at 32. 10 years of contributions. Total invested, $60,000. Person B waits until 32 to start. Invests $500 per month until age 62. 30 years of contributions. Total invested, $180,000. At a 10% annual return, who has more at 62? Person A, $1.05 million. Person B, $1.02 million. Person A invested 1/3 as much money and ended up with more. The only variable was time. Every year you delay starting is exponentially more expensive than it looks. The cost of waiting isn't linear, it's compounding in reverse. Financial advisor Carl Richards coined a term, the behavior gap. It's the difference between what investors should do and what they actually do. The S&P 500 has returned roughly 10% annually over the last century. The average investor in S&P 500 index funds has returned roughly 6%. Same funds, 4% less. Why? Behavior. People buy when markets are high, when excitement peaks. They sell when markets crash, when fear peaks. They do the exact opposite of what wealth building requires. Vanguard conducted a study called Advisors Alpha. It found that the single biggest value a financial advisor provides isn't stock selection or tax strategy. It's keeping clients from making panic decisions during downturns. Emotional discipline is worth an estimated 1.5 to 2% in annual returns. Over 30 years, 2% compounded is the difference between retiring comfortably and retiring wealthy. So what does the playbook actually look like? 1. Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers to investments the day your paycheck hits, before you can spend it. Wealth is built on systems, not willpower. 2. Raise your savings rate, not your lifestyle. Every raise, bonus, or windfall, route at least 50% of it straight to investments before adjusting your lifestyle upward at all. 3. Be boring. Low-cost index funds, consistent contributions, no panic selling, no chasing trends. The wealth-building strategy that has worked the longest is also the most boring one. That's not a coincidence. The people who build wealth quietly are the ones who stopped trying to make about starting late. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is today. And that's not just a motivational poster. The math actually supports it. Every month you wait is compounding working against you. Every month you start is compounding working for you. The switch flips the moment you begin. You don't need a lot of money. You need consistency. $20 a week invested at 22 is worth more than $200 a week invested at 42. That's not opinion. That's arithmetic. And if you're in your 40s or 50s reading this, don't tune out. The behavior gap closes at any age. The automation habit works at any income. The lifestyle inflation trap can be escaped at any point. Wealth isn't a race with a fixed starting line. It's a direction. And you can turn in that direction right now. Let's make this concrete. If you have a credit card with a $5,000 balance at 24% interest and you only make the minimum payment each month, you will spend over 15 years paying it off. And you'll pay more than $7,000 in interest alone on a $5,000 balance. That's not a math problem. That's a design feature. The exit is straightforward, but it requires a system. List every debt, smallest to largest. Attack the smallest one with everything you have while paying minimums on the rest. When it's gone, roll that payment into the next one. This is called the debt snowball. And the reason it works isn't math, it's psychology. Small wins build momentum. Momentum changes behavior. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent for longer than feels comfortable. The bank is betting you won't be. Prove them wrong. The reason most people don't build wealth isn't income. It's the drain in the bathtub. It's the delay. It's the emotional reactions dressed up as financial decisions. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Subscribe to Broke Thinking if you want to keep seeing it clearly. New video every week. See you in the next one.